It's a beautiful morning, and we got this big pole to do. Well, it's big enough to need my lifeline to go around as a flip line. Oh, you gotta let that run more, boys.
Start it up.
I can see what's happened, the usual tree worker lingo. Yeah, we'll take the tree down. Yeah, we'll take it down. We'll leave the pole as habitat. It's like, yeah, we'll leave it as habitat. We'll collect 75% of the costs and then leave habitat and, you know, half of the work. So then the client's got to get another company in, like us, to come and remove the pole. And we'll charge 75% of what the tree was probably originally worth. And then do all this work. So essentially it kind of costs the customer more, which is a bit crap. We'll do some rigging. This was originally planned as a crane job. It would be easier being a crane job, but the customer wants to save a bit of coin, so we're gonna rig it down and leave a bit of wood here in the garden, I think. Yeah, so we're gonna have some rigging points. We're gonna have a block down the bottom, a pulley block, friction drum, sorry. Going up to a point, high point, and then just negative rig the small stuff down. Once we get down to a point that gets a bit big, we're going to do a 3-to-1 up there. So we're going to anchor it to the pole and then have the rope running through a pulley on the bit we're removing and down to the porter rope. No, I'll show you. It's in my head, I know what I'm doing, but I can't explain it to you in words right now. Oh yeah, thanks. Well, it's big enough to need my lifeline to go around as a flip line, so it's certainly not small. I think with increased risk on a job, you want to take it a bit easier. It was a job the other week, I think last week, we rushed through because it was relatively simple. Might have been sizable, but it was simple. This one's just laborious. Like, this is going to take a lot of effort. So we'll try and conserve that. Flip line on this side because that's what I like. Probably should have just thrown a line up, but I didn't, so whatever. So these top few bits should be pretty easy. We're just gonna rig them down, just negative rigging, one single high point, and then we'll just see how heavy they get, how big they get. Might have to have a shared load at the top here, which down on the ground I was struggling to talk you through it, so I won't try and talk anyone through it. But get up, get a high point set, start rigging these little bits down. Can you please send up that white dead-eye sling down there and that red pulley and the tail of the rope, please? The blue rope. You can install that red pulley onto the white dead-eye sling before you send it up. Yeah, stand back. Peavy knows what he's doing. What the hell? Undo it. Jesus. Undo it and push the metal thing and twist it. Push it in and twist it. I'll turn the camera off for you. All right, the boys are tying the gear on. I'll send it up in a second. You always got to take a moment to look around at places like this. Melbourne's over there. Scan around. We've got the Dandenongs out there, all the way along to here. And the sun's coming up and it's beautiful. So it's a good day to be working in trees. All good? Let's see if this makes it up. Hey, we got it. Alright, so we're doing a cow hitch on this because we don't have any good whoopee slings. And then do another one down here. There's a few different variations of this. The Australian Standards says to do it like this. So that's what I do, because it doesn't seem any worse than any other way. Everyone's got their own opinions though. And then I'll just get rid of this around the back. So I've got a pulley up here today, fellas. So we're usually using rings, but today we're using a pulley. Oh no, that's service. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Hold it there for a second. All right, let go. Thank you. That is service. All right, so this is just a little tweak, boys, but we're just gonna rig everything down. Better safe than sorry. I could just snap this off, I know, but it's also good practice for you boys on the first one. All right, just hold it. You don't need to put it through the drum. You can if you want, but you don't need to. I just put it through the drum just to redirect it so the rope's not over me. No, I just don't want the rope on me. That's all. It's super, you won't even come down, but just to, even just stand down there maybe. Just hold it there, you're right. You ready? Oh, it's a big one. Just out of experience of one little thing causing damage, we're just going to do little bits. Sorry, I'm talking to the camera. You'll get that. So we're just doing little bits to start with, get them out of the way. Also just kind of dry runs, as if you would, you know, doing crane work. You set up dry runs, make sure everything's working in the system, make sure we're all good, everyone's on the same page, and everything's cool. So another little one, and then we'll go for some bigger stuff up there. So doing a clove hitch around this for a mid tie, 2 half hitches, pulley block, because we'll be negative rigging. I really like using rings, but when it gets to bigger stuff, I am not the biggest fan, especially really tall stuff. This isn't super tall. Chuck this in the drum. It's not really tall, but extra weight on those rings can wear them, mainly the long runs. But look, I like to take risk. I'm a risk taker, but you've got to know when to draw the line and have some blanket rules on yourself. So one of my blanket rules is whenever it's bigger stuff, I don't use carabiners. And not a blanket rule, but I'll try not to use rings on bigger stuff. And this is gonna get bigger, so. You ready to go? It's only light. How's that going? Is that going to be too heavy when it gets bigger? Yeah, we'll just play it by ear, guys. If we can't do it, we just can't do it, all right? I might just do that in one go. All right, now we're just going to kick it up. So this one will be like a lot heavier. So all you're doing, Case, is stopping it before it hits the ground. But apart from that, it should be moving the whole time. I always say you should have a SRT setup for blocking down. I've always said you should have an SRT set up for blocking down. However, I've got this branch here, that branch there. If I have an accident, I can just lower it down and this will catch me. So just for now, that's why I'm doing that. So shut up. All right, I'm just gonna put a scarf in. loosen it off. I've got to tie it on. How many wraps you got on it? Yeah, that'll be right. You all good? So just stop it before it hits the ground, that's all. Oh, you gotta let that run more, boys. Jesus. Oh, you gotta let that run more, boys. I'm just setting myself up a top rope system with SRT setup because now I want to drop down. It was just quicker to do the cut on double rope before. Twist that around so it's falling all right. I can bring this up and tighten it off. Yeah, you don't want it to stop like that. You want it to just really smooth, stopping just before it hits the ground. Yeah, just don't hold it as tight, let it run through your hand. Can't see out of those bloody things. Was she looking fine? All right, chuck her on. All right, put that on. You're all good to go. So just let it run. Just stop it before it hits the ground. Ready? It's going. Go, you bugger.
I got you. Oh. Let it slow down a bit. Slow down a bit, Bruce. Yep, all good. How's that, Jack?
Better. Still needs work. It's that initial bit. Getting a lot better though. You know, if you're as good as George, it'll be all right. I mean, George does it really well. Look at that balance, mate. Look at that balance.
Hey, the balance is perfect, right?
Oh yeah.
I think one wrap is just too much. So I wasn't even tugging on it.
Alright, well, we'll go to the next one.
Ready, 3, 2, 1,
Go.
I'm dropping.
Pull. No. Wait.
Boys, taking some.
So what's the game plan, Sir Jack?
Oh, just put a few cuts in it and then knock it over. Leave a lot of hinge wood on it.
A lot of hinge wood. How many ton you reckon in this fella?
Somewhere between 5 and 5 ton, 7. Oh, probably 5 or less. I reckon 5.
All right.
Alright.
Well, we'll see you when you start cutting.
All right. So we'll get some of this set up here.
And can you just think out loud with what you got going?
Think of how much to put on this.
Our system is looking.
So I'm gonna cut this side and then I'm gonna cut the other side. The other side's when it'll go. So I'll cut the hinge wood small on this side. When I go to the other side, I'll keep cutting. I'll keep telling you to pull even though you might not be able to pull, but we'll just keep cutting, pulling, cutting, pulling. And eventually I want to pull it over rather than have it fall over.
Yeah.
Cool? Quentin, if you're in there, this is aimed directly up there.
Yeah.
So it'll just miss this tree, but you can't be standing there.
No,
If you trip over, it'll be on you. So don't even stand up behind it, and if you had to turn that prusik for any reason, then come in.
Yep.
Cool?
Sounds good.
All good? You reckon you'll get it? I can cut it more. I might just give it a bit more of a cut. No, you're right. I'm just trying to give it a bit more here. All right, I'll just cut it a little bit more. Slow. Hold up, stop there. Just trying to support it a bit more on this side. Pull it.
Don't grip it, I think just... There. There's not much more to go. Oh, the pulley. Half a litre. Let it run, let it run!
Oh, maybe I was filming. I think I was.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's all right. Have a look at this. So, all right. So now it didn't all go to hell. I might give you a little tutorial because if it did go to hell, I feel pretty silly. So, scarf cut. The hinge wood was in almost in line. It was actually underneath that, so that should just snap off because it's all rotten. So. Straight line, cut from both sides, cut in, kind of messed it up a bit, but it still worked, got that straight line. And then quarter cut this side, put some wedges in to support the weight on this side. I also bored the chainsaw in there to cut the guts out so my bar could actually reach in all the way. And then when it wasn't going, I came and cut a little bit of this, left this bit here, but cut more of the internal bits. And then slowly moved around. And the boys pulled it really nicely, so that was good. We had it aimed at further out there. It could have failed and got on the line, so we tried to get it more in line with where the weight was going. All right, now get to work, Quentin.
Who's chopping? Who's chopping?
Start it up.